we're joined by Patrick Cronin, Asia Pacific Security Chair at the Hudson Institute. Patrick, welcome. So these were Microsoft employees based in China who were being overseen by people here in the United States. Patrick, how did this happen, and what does it say about our security capabilities here in the United States?
Well, it says when you're building rapidly a digital system and a set of systems, including just for the Pentagon, Defense Department has 3 million employees. When you're building those kind of systems rapidly, you're relying on a lot of different workers and a lot of different technologies that you may not understand fully what's going into them. In this case, yeah, outsourcing to Chinese tech workers was the wrong thing to do for our Defense Department system. Never should have happened. And yet, because the United States has to rely very heavily on our commercial suppliers, Microsoft is a great corporation, a great company, but like other commercial enterprises, they rely heavily on an international workforce, and that includes Chinese tech workers. We do not have enough trained tech professionals and regional professionals to fully staff some of the universities, some of the governmental programs we need. We need to do a better job at training and educating and ensuring that the requirements rule out allowing China to be the workers who are working on these systems or the technology, providing the technology that goes into those systems.
We just heard Secretary Hegseth say no more Chinese involvement in cloud systems, and then Caitlin mentioned in her reporting cybersecurity mindset needs to shift. How much do you think our security systems are still at risk today?
Well, they're very much at risk. The Chinese are also getting better at this, unfortunately. So in the past, they didn't mind being found out, but now with their SALT and Volt Typhoon programs to try to pre-position themselves into our critical utilities, or whether these new Linen and Violet Typhoon programs that are trying to steal espionage and information on targets and on people and information, we're going to continue to find these in future systems as well, not because of this contractor problem, but because they're able to exploit software, because they're able to hack into different systems, they're able to exploit individuals. And this is part of the geostrategic competition with China. We have to do a better job. I would remind you that Secretary of Defense James Mattis, in producing the 2018 Defense Department's cloud strategy, was quoted widely as saying that if we fail to adapt at the speed of relevance, we'll forfeit the advantages we had to win World War II. It's that mentality that we're running right now in the artificial intelligence race with China. And when you're running that fast with new technologies, you're accepting certain amounts of risk. And that means everything we do today, everything we buy, everybody we train, we're also accepting a certain degree of risk because we're trying to achieve certain milestones of capacity right now and sooner than the Chinese. We don't want to be surprised by China when they can suddenly de-encrypt our secret messages, or when they can hack into our sensitive communication. So there's a balance between accepting some risk, but then constantly being actively trying to find out where those risks exist. So this will not be the last time Secretary Hegseth probably has to go on around the world and say we're going to crack down on this espionage, because Chinese are relentless on this.
Yeah, we know the Chinese, but are there other countries or bad actors that you're keeping an eye on?
Well, yes, the whole Crink axis of upheaval, if you will, in terms of China, Russia, Iran, North Korea, they're the most likely bad actors. All of them are involved in these issues. North Korea specializes in trying to raise illicit funds so they can fund their weapons of mass destruction. Russia likes to disrupt these programs broadly. And Iran as well is trying to find intelligence on anything related to the Middle East. So all of them are problems, but China has the biggest growing capacity that we have to be concerned about.
All right, Patrick Cronin with the Hudson Institute, thank you so much for your expertise on this and for joining us this evening.